Hello and welcome to this What's New webinar, in particular what's new in our PowerPack for Plant 3D 2025. My name is Simon Dickinson. I am the product manager for the PowerPack for Plant 3D. I've been in the industry for quite a while now and I've got 20 plus years of experience using AutoCAD software. Up until 2 years ago I was a BIM consultant here at GRAITEC, and the last 2 years I've been product manager looking after the PowerPack for Plant 3D and the PowerPack for Revit. My experience in the software ranges across quite a broad spectrum of software, from Revit, Navisworks, 3ds Max, AutoCAD, obviously Plant 3D, the fabrication tools from CAD MEP, SMEP, CAMDuct, and also to the ACC, the Autodesk Construction Cloud, and many more. I'm an Autodesk certified instructor. I'm a consultant for the Autodesk Implementation Framework, and I've also completed the Autodesk ACC Elite program. And this all stems back to me doing a degree many years ago at Liverpool John Moores. And as you can see, I've got a fair few badges against my name as well, just below that. Okay, so PowerPack for Plant 3D 2025. Now, some of you, this might be completely new, the PowerPack for Plant 3D, and you might not have heard of it before. We've got other PowerPacks. If you haven't, and just like all of our other PowerPacks, when we create our PowerPacks, they're designed to sit on top of the Autodesk software and either enhance the current functions, so make them easier to use, simplify repetitive tasks, or to extend its capabilities to make it do stuff that maybe it doesn't do at the moment, but maybe we feel that it should. Now, when we say we feel, we always listen to our customers, and all the ideas we get are actually coming from customer feedback. When a customer says, we like Plant 3D, but wouldn't it be nice if it could do this? And if it's not on the Autodesk roadmap and it doesn't look like Autodesk would add that functionality, then we might do that. So if you do have any feedback on how Plant works or the PowerPack works, how we could improve the PowerPack, please do get in touch, because we are always interested in customer feedback of potential development for the next version of a PowerPack. So one of the biggest things that we've had to do this year is Autodesk changed the .NET framework. Prior to the 2025 version of the software, it was all running on .NET 4.3. Microsoft introduced .NET 8 in September last year, so September 2023, and we've now had to make some big changes. Anyone that's got a plugin for an Autodesk software will have had to update it to .NET 8 so that it can run in the 2025 version of the software, with the exception of Vault. Vault has not yet been upgraded, but we suspect that will probably come soon. So we've had to do this. Now, the one thing that .NET 8 brings is massive performance increase, and this isn't just for our PowerPack. If you use any of the 2025 versions of the Autodesk software, Revit, Plant 3D, etc., you will notice that it's running a lot faster. It's a lot quicker than it used to be, and that's thanks to the .NET 8. So we've rewritten the whole of the PowerPack for Plant 3D just to make sure that it's fully compatible with the 2025 version of all the Autodesk software. So you are going to benefit from a faster environment. So I would highly recommend, if you can upgrade to the latest version, it would be well worth doing. Obviously, Revit's slightly different, but definitely for AutoCAD Plant 3D, as it is backward compatible. One of the enhancements that we've made here is on our export to AutoCAD, so the export to DWG. Now, we introduced this tool originally to batch export our drawings to native AutoCAD. So if you are running native AutoCAD, but you want to open a plant model, you need to install the Object Enabler, which is all well and good if the piece of software you're using supports Object Enablers. But if you were trying to export your model or open your model in, say, something like Revit or 3ds Max, then there's no Object Enabler. So this will allow us to batch export all of our drawings, and what it will do is it will add the underscore ACAD to the file name. Now, what this was doing originally, it would just export the 3D model to the same folder where it was created, whether it was the 3D models or a subfolder, and then it would add the AutoCAD to it. So if you were exporting it and you wanted to batch export and then send them to somebody, you would have to then delve into subfolders to try and get to the different locations. We've now added the functionality where we do the export, it's going to actually ask us where we want to export our drawings to. So we can specify a folder. So this really makes it easy to export our drawings and to control where they're actually going to. So here we are inside of Plant 3D. And here's our export to AutoCAD file button at the top. So we click that, and the first thing we will do is we'll say, right, where do you want to save these to? So we can browse to anywhere on a network, or in this case, I'm just going to go to my export to DWG folder, and I'll just click open. It will now start to export all the DWG, so all the model files, regardless of them being in subfolders, into that folder. Okay, and as you can see, it's exporting them out. It will still add the underscore AutoCAD, so we know that these are just native AutoCAD drawings, they're not Plant 3D drawings. So if I open this up and we just navigate, all of the models now in one folder. So I can very easily zip all of these up and send them off. I don't have to worry about the fact that they're no longer in their various subfolders. Okay, so again, just really streamlines the way in which this tool now works. Another thing, and this was again customer feedback. So like I say, we're always looking at customer feedback, and it was enhanced control over the sheet numbering within our line manager. So the line manager was a tool that would allow us to break down our lines into manageable ISOs, so basically different sheets. And one of the requests we had is that from a customer is they wanted to have 3-digit naming. And that included preceding zeros. So we could have a 3-digit sheet. If you call it sheet 100, it would be quite happy. However, if you called it 001, it would actually create sheet 1. It didn't allow us to have preceding zeros. So here we are again. So let's have a look in here. And here's our line manager. And I can come in and, we could select a particular line. At the moment here, it's you can see it's zoomed and selected the sheet in the background, the pipeline in the background. I've got my sheet number to be 001. I add a new sheet in, and as you can see, that line has now been broken down, the entire line onto one sheet into one. This also works if we use our auto sheet. Now, auto sheet means I can set a size, as I just did then in the settings, and that's the maximum size of the pipe for fabrication. So now what it will do is it actually goes in, and I've actually got it here now to select the line 1021, and it will now convert that and break it down into manageable chunks. And it will automatically, if I just do a refresh, it will automatically create all the sheets, and you can see 001, 002, 003, and etc. So it's now intelligently numbered our drawings, and it's something that was a request, and I say we do listen to our customers, and we will add that functionality when customers ask for it. The next enhancement we made was to our export pipe support. Now, export pipe support was always a very popular tool because the one thing that you can't do is there's no way to easily create an Excel file that contains all the dimensions for your pipe supports. So pipe supports are parametric. They can have different, the hangers could be different heights, the supports could be different heights, and we could export that. Now, one of the things that we did is we looked at the fact that the export just was called a support export. It didn't really give us much intelligence over how we named it. You would have to go in, manually change the name all the time. Now what we've got is we've got the ability to add the project name, time and date, so you don't have to do any work. You just go export. It will auto-name it, and you can then control how them revisions are working. You can basically see what file someone's got open. If they've got the latest set of data, and we can be confident that the fabricators have got the correct data for the files. So here we are inside of Plant again. On our exports pipes. Now what you will notice is this is fast. This is one of the tools. I go project, It's going to export everything from a project. Okay, there's the name. Yeah, so you can see it's got the date and the time in there of when I created this file. We click save. It's already launched Excel. Before, you would be waiting 30 seconds whilst it generated the data. It's literally generated the data, and it takes longer to open Excel than it did to actually create the export. And as you can see here, here's our export. We've got all the thumbnails and the associated dimensions for all the supports that were in that project. You've got the choice to do just a single view that you're in, or the entire project. I actually exported the project then, but as I said, it's definitely benefited as this tool from the .NET 8 enhancements. The next improvement we made was to the copy project drawings. So this allows us to batch copy PNIDs, models, orthos and isometrics from another project. So this is where we can start to batch import and reuse data from existing projects. So it's a very useful tool to be able to very quickly copy everything we need from another project. Now, one of the things that we used to do before is where it says select project, if you selected the project and then the project XML, you could get to import everything from all the subfolders. But I might not want to do that. I might just want to copy all the models. Now, what you'd have to do then is you would have to select all the model drawings separately. You'd have to select them one at a time, or folder or by subfolders. So each subfolder would have to be added separately. We can now select a folder for the import, and this means it just increases the speed at which it's going to copy these. So here we are now in Plant 3D, and if I go to my copy project drawings, we can just launch this. When it launches up, here we go. So I could always do the select project, but as I said, this would just copy absolutely everything, and I don't want to do that, because I don't want maybe the PNIDs. I just want save a model. So now I can select the folder, and I can come in and I can select, maybe in this case, the 3D drawings, and there's a load of subfolders in there. Basically, this project contains a load of data in subfolders. It's already added all of that, all of the subfolders and all of the drawings from the subfolders. And then click OK. It will then copy all of that data from that other project into this project. Yeah, and then once it's finished, it's going to launch Excel, and this will tell me if the export's been successful or not. As you can see, if it failed, the usual reason it failed is because maybe it was a metric to imperial. And as you can see here in my project, all the subfolders have come across, and all the folders that are in the subfolders as well. Okay, so it's kept the project hierarchy in there, but it meant that we only had to click on one folder, select one folder, and it's pulled everything across from the subfolders. So again, just a really nice way of speeding up the operation of what is already a really nice tool. One comment that we did have, and this was relating to the line manager, it's a really simple improvement, but it's really going to help people, was people would use our line manager, and when it splits the line groups down into sheets, it will color code the sheets based on the line group. So it actually has a layer override, so there's a layer that just goes by sheet number. Now, people were opening this, and half the model was grey because they'd only broken a few of the line groups down, and it was unclear as to why the layer colours were not working. So it just caused a little bit of confusion. So it was requested that if we open a particular drawing, and within that drawing the layer colour overrides are active, that we get a message displayed. And that's all it does. It just displays a message, and then what we can do, so if we look at this, here we are. I'm going to open an existing drawing that's in this particular project, in the sample project. We'll open this pipe drawing from area 1. So this will load in all the XREFs, etc. But it will also give us a warning message to tell us that my overrides are on. Okay, we'll just give it a chance to load in. Here it is. We've got some orphan fasteners. We'll just add that, and as you can see, here is now a little message to say that the line color overrides are actually turned on. What we then can do is we would then go into the line manager and simply turn the that information off. Okay, so really easy to do. Now, as a bonus for you lovely people, coming in the 2025.1 version, so this will be available in around about 6 months time, sort of October-ish, we are developing some new tools, and the first tool that we are looking to develop is called the Tag Wizard. Okay, this is going to really enhance the way you use particularly existing data that you might be moving across from another project. Okay, so here is the Tag Wizard. So this is, I say, it will not be available in the 2025 version, but this is a sneak preview for you guys of what is coming in our next release in the 2025.1. This is a powerful tool that's going to help us re-tag items across an entire project using groups and filters. So if you've used our copy drawings command and you've copied a load of drawings from an existing project, but maybe the tag format is not the way that you want it to be, because maybe it's come from a particular project that had a particular standard. You know, it might not be your project, it might be someone else's that you've worked on. That's, you know, you want to reuse the data. Reusing the data doesn't always mean that the data is correct, and this is now where this Tag Wizard comes in. So here we are again, back in Plant 3D, and as you can see, we've got a P&ID open here, and the tag for these two pumps begins with a Q, so it's Q-103 and Q-104. So what we can do is we can open the Tag Wizard. Now the Tag Wizard, here's the icon just at the top, will allow us to select the type of drawings that we want to check the tags on. Obviously, on a large project, if you clicked on the project and selected everything, clicked OK, it could take quite a while to read all of them drawings. So I'm just going to do it just on the P&IDs, and it will now read them through. A little progress bar appeared at the bottom, but it was quite quick because I didn't have many. And here we go. So we can now start to filter this, and we can filter it by the equipment. So, you know, I'm just interested in the pumps, and it will then break it down now by the equipment. And, you know, we could select the top level, it'll show me all the tags. I can now do a find and replace. So what I want to do here is I want to do a find and replace on these. I want to find all the Qs and I want to place them. I can replace one at a time, or I can replace find and replace all. And there we go, find and replace all. They've changed green because now technically I've resolved that. Okay. And you can see here I've got them all changed. Now, one of them's got an A next to it. I don't really want that. I can now edit that manually. So I could have done this before. I don't have to do a find and replace first. I can then change that. And what it might be is I might not want one of them to change. So I can actually click on the revert tool, and it will revert it back to the previous value. Once I'm happy with that, I can click OK. It will go away. It will do that, make the changes, and as you can see here, it's now highlighted them with the P. So it's now changed that and it's updated the database accordingly. What I can also do is we can do a load and save state. Now this is really useful because imagine you've done this, you've copied the drawings, but you want to, although you're changing it, you might want to make sure that if the worst comes to the worst, you can revert everything back to the original value. So this is where that save button comes in. So we can actually save an extract at that moment in time. So it's very useful. I know I did a find and replace first, but I would probably recommend that the first thing you do within the Tag Wizard is save the existing state. Just in case you make a load of changes and you realise that you shouldn't have done that. Rather than having to manually work out what they used to be, we can literally just reload the state at the point that we started to basically run the Tag Wizard. So this is your safety backup. So this is a new tool. There will be new other tools coming along with the Tag Wizard as well, which may or may not be ready by the time we get to the 2025.1 build, but I can guarantee you the Tag Wizard will be there. Thank you ever so much for your time. Quite brief, we've only got a few new features in the PowerPack for Plant 3D this year, mainly because a lot of time has obviously been spent on our .NET 8 migration. This really has taken quite a lot of the dev time away and restricted some of the new features that we were hoping to deliver. But they're now all in the pipeline, and as I say, they will hopefully be coming as well within the 2025.1 release. So thank you again. Please do get in touch with comments, suggestions on tools that you would like to see in the PowerPack for Plant 3D. We're always open to ideas and suggestions on how we can make Plant 3D an even better product. Again, feel free to email me. I'll be hanging around for a bit for question and answers. So if you have any question and answers, feel free to put them into the chat, and I will do my best to answer them now. Thanks.
All right. So there we go. If you guys have any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. We've got our live expert, Dave Simmons, on for any questions you may have. And while we wait to see if we've got any questions, I'm going to throw this on the screen. We do have a free trial for PowerPack Plant 3D, so you guys can click on that and download that as well. It is also in the chat for you guys. So Dave, as we see if we've got any questions, are there any final points or thoughts you'd like to give the attendees?
If I would want to say anything is that the features that are natively in PowerPack and those that are coming in 25 do provide a very substantial ROI for tool and performance. So sometimes the tools may not be used every day, but when the tool is needed, it's worth its weight to have it at that moment. So.
Awesome. And I think we do have a question here. Sean says, do you know if there are any compatibility issues between Plant 3D 2025 and existing projects that were created in older versions, for example, Plant 3D 21 and 24?
No. There was a migration, so a CATS and specs migration issue between 21 and 22. Where they changed some file path locations, but as far as the data goes, no, it's still the same. So as long as the properties are available in the different versions, but you should be fine. I mean, there's no really, they continue to enhance the product. They continue to fix bugs and repair stuff and add new features. So no really showstoppers between 21 and 24, especially 24 to 25. There's none for sure.
Alrighty. And I am going to put my email in the chat. If you guys think of any questions that you didn't ask during the webinar and you want to ask them, you can send them over to me at mscott@asti.com. I will get you directed with the right person and the right answers. We also have Dave's email, dsimmons@asti.com. So you guys can send those over to us. You will receive a recording within 48 hours. If for any reason you can't view the recording, just reach out to me via email and we'll get you all set up. So thank you so much. We hope it was meaningful and impactful for you and your businesses, and we look forward to seeing you all on future webinars. Have a wonderful rest of the day.
All right. Thank you.